Welcome to my vlogs, Love Ultras. I'm John Kynaston and this is episode 43. First of all, let me say a happy new year to everybody. Hope you had a good Christmas and into the new year. We certainly did. We had a lovely 3 weeks in Bali. One of our daughters, Emma, there's teachers out in Bali in the Green School with an Indonesian husband, and now our 2 grandchildren, Noah and Jacob. So it was lovely to spend time with them. And I was able to do a little bit of running as well. I ran every other day just to sort of keep ticking over. But I must admit, this week, getting back, this has been my start of my Dragon's Back training. So there's 19 weeks, including last week, for the race. So the race is 18 weeks tomorrow, 20th of May. So I've really wanted to sort of just step up really and to get going with my training. And I thought for this vlog I would just basically talk about my plan, my training plan, just in overall, just in the idea of what I'm aiming to do each week. And basically I'm going to try and run 5 times a week. And I was quite keen to try and establish that this week, to get back into that. Since the Hard Walls race in November, I've ran sort of 2, 3, 4 times a week just when I wanted to, every other day, and just kept ticking over really. But now, as I said, back in earnest, and I really want to try and run 5 times a week, most weeks, and be building up the mileage and also the amount of ascent that I do. So my plan is as follows. Monday night I love to go along to our club. I'm a member of Kilbarchan Club here near Glasgow, and Monday night we have a really good fartlek session. It's always we do a mile and a bit warm up, do some strides, and then it's a half-hour session of speed work. So for example, this Monday it was 3 minutes on, 90 seconds recovery, 2 minutes on, 1 minute recovery, 1 minute on, 30 seconds recovery, times 5. So it always adds up to 30 minutes. And when I'm running really well, I can run around about 5 miles at 6-minute mile pace, where I used to be able to quite comfortably. As I get older, it's getting a bit harder. For example, this week, I think I was about 4.65 miles. But hopefully, as the weeks go by, my fitness will improve and I will get closer to that sort of target, in a sense, of 5 miles for the 30 minutes, which is 6-minute mile pace. Depends on the reps. If it's a shorter rep, you've got more chance. If it's 5-6 minute reps, then it's obviously a bit more difficult. But there's a lot of debate about ultra running and speed work. But basically, I think I enjoy running with the group. It's a good group of friends. We push each other, and it's the one time of the week where I am running a little bit faster. So I think it's good just to get that sense of speed as well. So that's what I'll be doing on a Monday. Wednesday, my plan is to do an off-road run. Now, if I'm at work and things are easy at lunchtime, I can go around Pollock Park, and I've got a nice 6.5 mile loop where I can make longer or shorter. But off-road, pretty well 90% of it, which is great. And there's quite a few hills in there, so I'll do that. And I might even, some of the longer hills, I might go up and down twice, I think, just to sort of gain a bit more ascent as well. And then Thursday, the plan is to head over to Ben Lomond. It's about an hour journey from here, but it's well worth it because it's a great hill. We go up the Ptarmigan Ridge, which is a good hike, and it normally takes me about 1 hour 15, 120, sort of mainly walking hard, but running as much as I can. And then it's a great downhill run on the tourist path. And again, it takes me around about 45 minutes. I have done it just under 40, but normally it's about 45 to 50 minutes. But it's constantly downhill running on a decent path, so you can get a decent pace going. And it's great for the quads to prepare for that downhill runs. At the moment, I'm just doing Conic Hill, which is slightly smaller, well, half the height, for the first few weeks, and then I'll build up into the Ben Lomond. Just depends on the weather on Ben Lomond. If it's really icy and snowy, then it's not really worth the effort in some ways, because you're so slow anyway, even on the running down. So I'll keep an eye on the weather, but I'll either do Ben Lomond or Conic if Ben Lomond's out of action. And then Saturday, Sunday will be some longer runs. So either up on the Braes like I did yesterday, or I'll be on the West Highland Way route, or getting out to various places. And this year particularly, because I want to be doing a lot of Munros, a lot of ascent, a lot of mountains, I will be travelling a little bit further. And I've got a couple of weekends planned where I'd like to do a back-to-back, sort of Saturday and Sunday. But in a future vlog, I'll do a little bit more about my specifics of the training. I just want to give an outline of what I'm doing. And then Sunday, like this morning, I just did a 6.5 mile road run, just a recovery run. But as the weeks go on, I'll do a back-to-back, so I'll do a couple of off-road runs with a bit more height as well. I just wanted to establish my pattern for this week to get going. So that's the basic plan. Monday fartlek, Wednesday an off-road run, Thursday a hard hill run, and Saturday, Sunday longer runs off-road, building up the mileage as the time goes on. There's a couple of other things I wanted to do. I'm not great at stretching or exercising or cross-training, but one of the things I've realised that I need to be hill fit. And there's a guy, Chris Highcock, who I've met a couple of times, who's from Edinburgh. He's followed my blog. He's a really nice guy. And he's written a little booklet, an ebook called Hill Fit. And I reviewed it a few years ago when he first came out. He gave me a copy to have a look at. And there's 4 basic exercises which are really good to help you to be hill fit. He's a keen hill walker as well as runner. And I thought, well, that would be a good thing to do. So I'm going to try and do that twice a week, Tuesday and Friday when I'm not running. So again, I'll probably review that again in another future episode once I've done a few weeks. But I started that on Friday, and I think it will benefit because they are 4 specific exercises to strengthen your core to be able to walk and climb up Munros and mountains. And then there's 2 other things I want to do. One is just to get my weight down. I don't feel as though I'm overweight. I'm 12 stone 5 this week when I weighed myself. I try and weigh myself each Friday, but I would like to get under 12 stone. So I've got a few pounds to get rid of, but I've got 18 weeks to do it. So I'm not going to be silly, but I am just being a bit more disciplined with my eating. I try and cut out anything in between meals. Just have a good bowl of porridge with fruit in the morning, have a wrap at lunchtime with some apple and a yogurt, and then in the evening we have a good solid meal. For me, what I try and cut out is the puddings during the week. I think that's one of my weaknesses. If I have a stodgy pudding, then that's where I tend to put the weight on. So I'm going to try and cut out puddings during the week and be just a little bit more disciplined, because I think if I can be under 12 stone, I think getting up and down the hills is going to be easier. And then the other thing I want to keep an eye on is my feet. I tend to have hard heels, crack. They get sort of hard skin and then they crack and they're quite sore. And the last time, just before Christmas, when I went to get my insoles again from the hospital, the podiatrist, you call them, she was saying, "Oh, I'm not impressed with these feet. You need to do something about that." So for the last 5 or 6 weeks, I've been putting E45 all over my heels and my feet, and they've cleaned up a lot. And when we're in Bali, you get lots of massages and also got a foot scrub and a pedicure. So the girl was great. She cleaned off all the dead skin around my heel. So my feet are looking a lot better. And I think if you can keep your feet, so I gather, softer, then they're less likely to blister and less likely to crack. So I'm just going to keep on top of that. I'm going to keep putting E45 on each day and just keep my feet as soft as I can. And hopefully that will help with not getting blisters in the race. So that was just my update for this week. I say the race is 18 weeks away. It's definitely on my thoughts, thinking about it most days. I'm going to be preparing. I've done the recce of the first 3 days, and then I'm going to recce days 4 and 5 in April with good friend Andy Cole, and that's going to be looking forward to that. So we're going to do days 4 and 5 over 3 days, and that will be about 6 weeks before the race, so that will be ideal. But between now and then, and now in the race, I just want to get as much ascent, and that's one of my little goals for each week. I'm going to try and aim for at least 5,000 feet of ascent. This week it was 4,500, and that makes me realize, okay, I do need to do another hillier run as well as the ones that I did this week to get up to 5,000. And hopefully some weeks I'll be over 10,000 once I do longer runs on the weekend. But that's going to be really key, I think, to do. The more I can do of height, of ascent and descent, then the better it's going to be in my preparation for the race. So I'd say, wish you all a happy new year. And if you're also doing the Dragon's Back race, I'd love to hear from you, how your training's going. And if you're just keen to, interested to follow my progress in my training for it, then I will be doing these vlogs fairly regularly. I'm also going to do a weekly update on my blog. I did one today. just a summary of how my training went this week, and I'm going to do those each Sunday, so look out for those as well. So happy New Year, and I wish you all the best for all that you've got planned in 2019. It's our first run of 2019 together, so Happy New Year, Cammy.
Happy New Year to you too, everyone.
So we've just finishing our run this morning on the Braes. We did our 12-mile loop, and then to add a bit of height, we did 3 hill reps. So it was tough climb, wasn't it?
Great idea, John.
So it was half mile up, half mile down, and we did that 3 times. Whoa. And we've just got over a mile back to the house now, and we're slipping down the mud here.
I'm ready to go on my backside here.
But we've been catching up over the last few months because we haven't ran together for a while. And we've both got big challenges this year. Obviously, for those who follow my blog, know that the Dragon's Back is the big one for me this year. But what's your big one, Cammy?
My big one this year is the Bob Graham Round. I'm hoping to do that in June. It's something I've been thinking about for a wee while. I've really enjoyed the mountain running, and I want to try and develop that. I know it's me, really I limit my ability with this, but so it's going to be hard. But yeah, I'm just going to give my best shot and just get the miles down the mountains for the next few months.
Yep, and it works out really well because obviously for the Dragon's Back I need to be doing loads of hill runs as well, so hopefully we're going to try and coordinate our diaries and get out together as much as we can. And I'm on Cammy's team to help him on his attempt as well, so no doubt I'll be updating over the next few months how things go. But thanks for this morning. I've had a great run and it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah, thank you. See you later.